Hey folks, that's Tommy Train.
The movie Glory Days was shot on location in Thailand. What do you think about Thailand?
Oh man, that was a really great experience, very unique. I've never been to Thailand before, and it was just like a different planet, you know? I mean, the nightlife there is absolutely incredible. The food's great, the people were great, beautiful surroundings, and you know, anything goes. You know, there seems to be no rules there, and we could have as much fun as we want, and you know, it was really a nice change of pace, you know, to actually shoot a movie there.
What about the people there? Were they real receptive to a movie being shot in Pattaya?
You know what? Everybody's really receptive. You know, Roy, our producer and director, has been living there for quite some time, so he established a great relationship with the public. I mean, you would even have the mayor, you know, come to screenings and shootings, and you know, everybody was completely behind it 100%. You know, I mean, the involvement was absolutely incredible.
Roy, you mentioned Roy. He's a first-time director. How was that? Because his background's in music, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sure.
How did that work out?
You know, I think Roy did an incredible job. I mean, being a first-time director, you would never know it. I mean, Roy's a visionary, and I mean, basically, he's a perfectionist. So my meeting with Roy was back in the mid-'90s, where he was producing my band, Vertigo Children. And I met Roy at the record plant, and basically he was my producer. Then we went to his studio at Starbase, and we finished the record, and then we shot a bunch of videos. So just knowing Roy's work ethic, I would say that he did a great job. And for a first-time producer, you would never know it. I mean, he takes his film as serious as he does his music, which, you know, definitely, like I said before, that he's a perfectionist, and he did an incredible job.
And you, Tommy, you're got a musical background, like with your bands. You're branching out into acting. How is that? Is that a big change for you?
You know what's really weird? It's like back in the day when I was just starting out playing rock and roll, I used to star in these little short films, you know, like college films. You know, no budget at all. We were making the scenery out of cardboard and, you know, just latex paint. And, you know, it's just amazing because I never expected to get into the acting thing or anything like that. I've done some TV shows. You know, I did Monster House for the Discovery Channel. I just made an appearance in America's Next Great Restaurant for NBC. These are just like, you know, small TV shows where I'm just doing an appearance. But now this is a feature film with a leading role. I was a bit nervous, apprehensive. I took some acting lessons before I went there. When I was reading for the part, you know, Roy kept telling me, like, it sounds like you're reading off a piece of paper. This is a rock and roll film. Say it how you would say it if you were in a band and you were in the studio and we didn't have a camera on you. So I needed to find my comfort zone, which was great. I took some acting lessons. I read the script a lot, and what really made it for me is being in a movie with the talented actors that we have. Guys like Francis McGee, who would sit there and read my part with me over and over again. Oh, I don't like that word. Maybe it would sound better like this. Let's change this. You know, with a seasoned professional like that, he gave me a lot of pointers and a lot of confidence. You know, guys like Peter Tahoe, guys like Jay Scott, you know, Troy McFadden. I learned a lot from these guys. You know, everybody has a different technique. Everybody's got such different personalities. It was incredible just to see the way that people psych themselves out when you're doing that part, because you actually have to become somebody else. So they established my comfort zone, and what was great is these guys are all professional actors. You know, this is my first film that I starred in, but, you know, still, I've been on stage for most of my life doing rock and roll, played with guys like Mars Bonfire from Steppenwolf, Marty Friedman from Megadeth, you know, played with Mitch Mitchell from Jimi Hendrix, Sky Saxon from The Seeds, and done a lot of albums. So my comfort zone is being on stage with a guitar in my hand or singing. You know, that's my thing. But the fact is that I'm dealing with actors and they're dealing with a professional musician. We kind of just put it together where, you know, these guys were giving me pointers in acting, and we'd rehearse different segments, and they would come over to my apartment at night and we'd bust out a guitar. I'm going like, hey, if we're really playing to this soundtrack, you know, we need to look like we're all in the same key, you know, because not everybody in our group of actors, you know, was a professional musician, you know.
Yeah, you guys did do live music on there, and like you're actually playing in the when they show you playing, you're actually
Right.
playing. So you were kind of like the conductor of the actors, right, for the musical part?
Well, you know, they were like my acting conductors, and I was kind of like the guy that would teach them, you know, how to play the songs on the soundtrack. And when we did play like the club scene in the main section of Thailand, you know, I'm actually playing for real on that. When we're doing the beach scene, I'm playing for real. There's a studio scene where, you know, I'm playing for real. Peter Tahoe is playing for real. And the rest of the guys are kind of, you know, going through the motions. But we had to make it look like a band, you know. I mean, the worst thing that you can do in a musical movie, I think, is when guys aren't seasoned professional musicians and, you know, they're there, you know, playing in a B minor and, you know, the chord's really F. I mean, I think that when musicians watch this, they'll actually catch little knickknacks like that, you know.
So not only Thailand, you guys shot on location in Hollywood, California,
Yes, we did.
with some actors like Frank Stallone, Ricky Rackman even.
Yeah.
What was that like?
You know, it was an incredible experience. I had met Frank Stallone on The Contender. I was the construction foreman on The Contender in 2006. We did The Contender 2. So I met him. He was a great gentleman. And also Ricky Rackman, I mean, I've met that guy in the 80s. You know, he was on MTV. But he had a club called the Cat House. And I used to be a member of the Cat House back in the 80s. You know, my band used to play at Kazari's or the Whiskey or the Roxy. And afterwards, we'd ride our Harleys over to the Cat House, and that it was a big scene, and Ricky was kind of like the king. So it was really cool starring in a movie with him, too. And then Richard Tyson, that was great. I got a chance to star with Richard Tyson in a scene, you know, in a strip bar, you know, playing pool, trying to get the band back together. And to tell you the truth, man, Richard Tyson is like one of my heroes because, I mean, 3 O'Clock High was one of my favorite films of all time, and he starred as the bully in 3 O'Clock High, so... I mean, that was, you know, working with guys like him, that was a special cherry on the ice cream, man. It was fucking awesome.
So what's next for Tommy Train?
Oh, well, I've got a bunch of stuff that I'm doing. I just released the Tommy Train If I Die Tomorrow music video, and it's going to be accompanied by my new album called Fallen Angel. We just got the album covered together. It looks really great, and that should be out sometime this summer in 2011. Hopefully right around the time that Glory Days gets released. Roy, how you doing? And also, I just auditioned for a new movie. It's called The Lookout, and I'm playing the part of Richard. I don't know if I have that part yet. They might want me to read for a couple other parts in the movie. However, I just auditioned. The directors really liked what I did. And from being a rock star in one movie with the illustrious, legendary band The Spiders in Glory Days, now... you know, basically I'm playing a criminal that's actually robbing a store and has a full-blown shootout and gets killed in the intro, which I'm excited about. I think I did a pretty good job on that one. So I got that going on. Also, we just finished the Sky Saxon tribute album. I made a song for that with Sky before he passed away, and we're putting that on the tribute album. So we have a tribute album coming out. And other than that, you know, working on a new Discovery Channel TV show. After this, I go back to CBS, and I'm just going to keep pumping out rock and roll videos and starring in films, and hopefully you guys will like it.
Any last word?
Any last words? There's only one thing I can think of.